Ooh. What?
There's a fruit store on our street. It's run by a Greek, and he keeps good things to eat, but you should hear him speak. When you ask him anything, he never answers no. He just yeses you to death, and as he takes your dough, he tells you, yes, of course, we have no bananas.
Hello, and yes, we have no bananas, but I am wearing 2 pairs of sunglasses because it's too sunny, and I'm sorry if you're in that dreary, grotty, hideous industrial backwater known as Londres. I have been cast to what is essentially another planet. That's right, I'm in Cambodia, and the temperature is 90,000 degrees centigrade. Oh, it's too hot to wear this. Oh, if you notice, we're on video. Yes, we have no bananas. Don't really know what I'm going to do with the video. It's not going to be particularly interesting. I am essentially a vocal artist, an oral kind of person. Woo, we have no bananas. What can I say? It's terrible. I've decided to tell you about how I became so excellent in life. And I thought it's in many ways a guide. Do you need a guide to be good at life? Do you need a guide to be good at life? Do we need guides in life? Do we need to be a guide? Have you got a guide dog? Have you been guided by a dog? And of course, that's really what I'm trying to say. I've converted to a new religion where we worship the canines, and I'm not referring to un dance. That's right, un dance. I saw a dentist in Cambodia just the other day make use of they're very poor, of course, so you can make use of it. And I went into the dentist and I said, "Sir, we have no bananas, but I would like to have the finest, whitest teeth." And he said, "I can do that for you for a mere $20. And I said, "Why, thank you." And he held my mouth open like that. And I woke up in the morning with 32 beautiful white teeth all over the pillow. And what I'm saying is, you get what you pay for when it comes to dentistry, but I've had them replanted into the roots by my new dog, God. Woof, can't stop me. Woof, can't hold a man down. Woof, meow, bark, woof. Ah, I'm a vampire. Ah, I'm a vampire. So see what video has done to the podcast. Now, while we're on the subject, I want to talk about who was once my progeny. How do you say that word?
Prodigy.
She doesn't know either. So my young pupil, Richard Griffiths, who has tried to get in there. He started a war. This is war. Khmer Rouge, Khmer Bleu. Not something you should say around here that loud, really, because the general civilian population are armed. They have many limbs, and they will not hesitate to touch you and ask you if you would like some rice with that. So you've got to be careful around here. At some point I will be making use of the audio-visual technology I have brought into your dull lives by a small wander around. Oh look, there's feet. There's feet. You see, you can't hold a man down, and you can't strap a woman down. From the waist up, of course, he is gaffer taped to the sofa, and yet she will still get her filthy little feet in the picture when required. But watch, this is what I do to her. I just go like that, and no doubt the neighbours will come around and complain, but they complain in this peculiar language, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, that's not English, is it? How am I meant to respond? If you can't speak the Queen's, don't come round here telling me to keep my fucking voice down. I've got people who need entertaining. So back to do you need some words? Have you noticed I've got 5 shades? 5 shades of grey. That wasn't very sexy, was it? Just the 5 shades of grey. That's first base, the boobs, a kiss on the neck, a slight look, a glance across the discotheque, and then handing of a dance card to a lady dressed as a man. And that was how I grew up. That was essentially how we parted. Mum would dress up as Dad, and Dad would dress up as a mystical frog, which certainly made my Oedipal challenges a little bit gross. I will be taking you out to the 5-star area. It's 5 stars because we couldn't fit any more in. Obviously, I'm at like a 20-star place, If you want 4-star in there, mate, unleaded, bit of gasoline, put the pedal down, put it to the floor, press metal. I can smell the ether. Oh, I'm tripping on the fumes. Too many landmines in this town, too many landmines in this world. And where is Lady Diana when you need her to step on a mine? I think that would have been a better way to go. All that doddy-diddy, don't he? I don't know, but should he? Certainly shouldn't have done, because it would have been better if the Lady Diana, princess of modern romance style hairdresses, should have been blown up. It would have been great footage, I think you'll agree. And I think especially, you know, it would have been a comment, a statement really, to know that Lady Diana, Prince of Herpes, was spread across the Cambodian landscape with a knee here, a heel there, an elbow thus, and a forearm hence, perpendicular to the parallelogram. And welcome to Dangerfield Sunday Geometry Prescription, where I will tell you that the hypotenuse divided by circumference equals pi r squared. And thank you, school, for telling me all that stuff, because it's cluttered up my brain and been absolutely no use. Oh, tell a lie. I went for a job interview when I was 21, and they said to me, do you know how to tell the circumference of a circle when you have only got the colour of the band leader's label to go by? And I said, yes, it's label times band squared. So I will take you around the 20-star hotel complex. It's not that complex, it's rather simple at some point, but I have to keep my voice down, and I have to keep my effervescent, caring, kind personality to a minimum, because of course if the other people knew that I was myself, I would be sent from the land. I would be, what's the word? Oh, when they go, no more. What is it? I would be, have you seen my guns? Banned. I would be banned. Have you seen my guns? And they would not want me to come back. So this is a challenge for both of us. I've done a lot of stand-up, but I'm sitting down, so it's not something I've practiced. And the thing I like about the podcast is that I've been audio. See, although I'm sort of making out that I usually record it like this, in truth, I'm usually sort of like this. I'm doing the podcast. And that's right, I've got Monkey Owl. He's here in Cambodia. He's in the bathroom. This is going to be interesting. How are you, Monkey Owl? Fucking shit. And why are you fucking shit? Hate this place. And what's wrong with it? I thought we were having the holiday of our lives. Fucking too hot. You don't like the heat, but I thought you monkey types were enjoying the heat and temperature. I thought you thrived in such situations. No, everyone stinks. Oh, that's just, well, I think they'll find that every culture has its own array of smells and odours, shall we say. Not like these cunts. Shush, Monkey Owl. If the owner of the hotel, his name is Tom, he's from Israel, and I said, oh, he's Jewish, and it went downhill from there, and I don't think him and Monkey Owl are getting on. I hate the cunt. Okay, more from Monkey Owl later. Yes, we have no bananas. Shush, Monkey Owl. And of course, regular listeners and now viewers, of course, to this ridiculous waste of time that I call the Dangerfield Sunday Prescription will know that Monkey Owl is actually Al, short for Alan. He's saying I'm short. He's not that tall. Oh, he's a slew to midgets. But it was suggested by one listener that, I think it wasn't suggested, I think he misheard or mistranslated, that he thought it was Monkey Owl, as in the exorcist birds that can turn their head round. So are you yawning?
Yeah.
Yawning?
Yes.
You said you wanted to be part of this.
I do want to be part of it.
And your contribution so far is your feet and
Yes.
yawning.
You like it when I yawn.
There you go. I like it when she yawns, and a little bit too much about my sexual life has been discussed there in public. So anyway, someone said Monkey Owl, O-W-L, and I thought, is that fair? That's not my name! But I'm going to go with Monkey Owl Owl. So that's the guest. So not really much to tell you. What I did want to talk about when I said how I became excellent at life, you know I'm being ironic because I'm shit at life. We're all shit at life. The only people who are any good at life is death, because, not deaf people. They're all right at life, but they shout at you like that. But I was quite a young entrepreneur. Those of you who are alive in the 1860s will know that what we used to do was we used to go around chimney sweeping for a few guineas occasionally, and then after that we progressed to car washing. Remember car washing? That's right. Kids these days too busy on their there's a Sonic the Hedgehog. Too busy on their PS3s. That's right. To know that what we used to do to earn a few quid, to have a few beans, was to wash cars, and that's a strange thing, isn't it? It wouldn't happen today. I would go around with an empty bucket. This is the thing, of course, the car owner provided the water. I mean, it's a pedo's dream, really. You turn up with your little belly button sticking out and your sort of dirty face, and you go, "Hello, mister, want me and my mate to get all soapy and lather your motor with our little bums in the end, little red sore legs sticking up for you, sir?" And of course, they'd go, "Ooh, yeah, I'd love it if you could wash my car. Want to come in? I've got some penguin biscuits for you to dribble over." And you'll go, "No, thanks, I'll just wash the car." And you'll do it, and they'd fill your bucket, you know what I mean? It's a euphemism. They'd fill your bucket, "Don't fuck it, mister," and with hot soapy water. And then you'd put your sponge in, and then you'd go out and you'd do quite a terrible job of making their cortina look wet. And then after about 10 minutes of freezing cold hands and soapy kind of chemical reaction to the chemical reaction, you'd go, "That's it, mate, it's done." And hopefully it'd give you a pound note. Remember the pound note? Lovely little square green thing, a rectangle green. And that was one way. And so I enjoyed washing cars. And then, do you remember the macro card? Do you remember the macro card? Do you remember the macro card? There was a cash and carry. I don't even know if they still exist in the world of the internet. Everyone's cashing and everyone's carrying. But one kid at school had the macro card, and it was like, "Nah, man, what does it mean?" And they'd come to school and he'd have like a whole bag of sweets, and you'd have like your pesky little ones that your mum made out of flour and sugar and the little green. Do you remember those little green flour things? "Oh, what is this shit?" And then some bloke I remember he turned up with his Puma bag. Remember the Puma bag? Don't snap the Puma label off though, because you want to put it on your shoelaces. Years before Bros were putting Grolsch bottles, we were putting the Puma tag on your trainers, even if they weren't Puma. I remember one lad, a bit of a spastic, quite spastic, half spastic, semi-plegic. He had his Puma tags on his Simod trainers. A contradiction there that I don't think he realised that the statement he was making, that he was carrying his Puma advert with his quite low quality, almost co-op own brand Simod trainers. I think at one point the Milk Cup, which was now the League Cup, I think, or the Carling Cup, the Lidl Cup or whatever it is, was once actually the Simod Cup. If you can prove me wrong, do so, because I'm basing that on absolutely nothing, just a few tatters of information I'm dragging from the carnival of my soul, upon which the wake of all futures reside in boats made of hope. So I got any words? And so I founded the macro card, because he had in his Puma bag, that's what I was talking about, he had 1001, it's got to be 1001, in pop music there's always 1,000, 1,000 tears I thought for you for 1,000 years, always 1,000, so I'm 1001, so I like to move things on, I like to take the contradiction, the dialectic opposition, resolve the contradiction, move forward and create a new thought, give it to you, hand it out like sweets, which gets us back to the semi-plegics. Puma bag, Simod bag, co-op own brand, carrier bag. That's what I had at school, no Puma bag. I certainly didn't take the co-op label off of my carrier bag and put it on my plimsolls. I'm at 14, everyone else is wearing Adidas and I've got some plimsolls. So he opened his Puma bag, and what it was like a huge vagina of a sweet shop, and I prized open the big leather labia, and inside there was 1001 Dinosaur. Dinosaur. That's not because I've spent too long in the Khmer region of Southeast Asia. It was actually called Dinosaur eggs, and they were like, I don't know, some kind of newfangled gobstopper. They were slightly more oval, certainly more egg-like than a gobstopper, but fucking wicked. You'd put it in your mouth and it would taste like America. It would taste like a future, like the Go Team, yeah, woo, of cheerleaders and a world I knew nothing of. These flavours that were, it's the Occident, it's the Occident, it's the Oceanic, it's the Australasia, it's all continents made into one tiny sweet-tasting map of the world. And then when you get through that layer and those with more brittle spittle, my whole life I've wanted to say brittle spittle. Those with more brittle spittle could get through to the next layer quicker. Those with a more drier palate, the kind of kids who've got the little white things there, and as they get older they become a little bit more foamy. Don't look at me just why who's going like that. It's not hard to do that. They would take them a bit longer. You could speed this process up, of course, by drinking Coca-Cola or even a mineral water if you prefer. And then you'd get through the next layer and be like, oh my God, after the blueberry outside, I'm now being teased with mint. Not jawbreakers. That's right. I know a few of you know a line has been drawn here, a violent dividing line. Almost like in life we do that between male, between female, the heterosexual, the gays. We've done the same here with the jawbreaker, a good sweet. All right? I'm not fucking about. A good sweet, sure. But not a dinosaur egg. No. Different league. The jawbreaker, of course, is playing in the Simod Cup, the Carling Cup, the Co-op Football Festival. Whereas the Dinosaur egg, this is a different league. This is universe. This is Saturn playing Earth for the new football cup. This is something quite different. So not a jawbreaker. I might come to that in another podcast. I might not. But fucking hell, the grief you're giving me already. I'm feeling it, radiating it across so many oceans. So after you got through the superb sort of minty layer, there was this sort of weird, not quite aniseed. It wasn't, you weren't having a Pernod. Anyway, you're getting the idea. There was no little baby dinosaur in there, unfortunately, but a wonderful sweet. And within the leather vagina, he had thousands of them. And I was like, wow, can I have one? Obviously not, because at school no one gives anything for nothing. I mean, the free market is formed in the playground. Let's have it right. Capitalism is the fruits of the tree that is 15 minutes between double history and double maths at the Downs Comprehensive School, Dartford. And I'm just going to have a bit of my vape. Hang on. Saigon. Shit. All this time I'm still only in Saigon. It's not Saigon. Of course it's Phnom Penh. So I said to him, can I have one of those dinosaur eggs? He said, no, I want 50 pence for it. Oh, 50 pence? You're fucking joking. But of course, I needed it so much. You know that child need when you just want something, you think it's going to satisfy every desire. And it is, because as a little squirt, you have very few desires. A clean shirt, maybe, to touch the buttocks of Sarah Butterfant in 2D or something like that. But, you know, they were very small desires and easily achievable. But this dinosaur egg, it was there. It was far from me. And I only got £1 a week pocket money. £1 a week, and as I've told you before, we were so poor, governor, that we spent our money on dinner. When I got my pocket money, I bought a bag of oranges. Whoa, I can't wait. Thanks for the pocket money, Mum. I'm going to treat myself to some food. So there was no chance of buying a dinosaur egg for 50p. So what I'd done, I obviously pretended to be his friend. You know, that old school one. This kid, he was gross. He had this nose that was a bit like that. I've been deliberately silhouetting myself so as not to overexpose myself to the people and thus cut short my celebrity journey to nowhere. But I'm going to pull myself into the light to show you that this kid had this sort of thing on the go. Like that. You know, one of them, look. Got it? Huh? And he had this sort of superiority thing where he thought he had the best of everything because he was a spoilt, fat, little asthmatic shit fuck. And he had this nose up there. My nose is dribbling now, so I actually can't hold it up because it's the temperature. It's 65 degrees in the shade. So he had this thing on the go like that. And it'd come up to you, if you had a football or something, it'd come up to you like and go, what, you think you got better football than me? You're like, no, what? I wasn't even comparing footballs with you, sir. And it'd be like that with anything. Like you'd get a new computer game for your ZX Spectrum, a copy, of course, because on £1 a week you're not buying computer games. But it was on audio cassettes in those days for your 16K ZX Spectrum, and someone turned up with something like 3D Monster Maze, and it'd be written on it in biro, 3D Monster Maze brackets pirate copy. Woohoo! Living it large. The seeds of crime were also formed in the playground. And Ed sort of appear from nowhere with his like little dry, shitty skin, and he'd go, "What, you think you got a better 3D Monster Maze than me?" Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When I woke up this morning and wrote that on there, I thought, yeah, I bet this is better than that bloke. I'm not going to say his name because I know he watches this. I wonder if he can tell who I'm talking about. So, there he was, so I pretended to be his friend. Oh yeah, no, look, it's not about the dinosaur eggs. I've always thought you were great fun. Should we hang out today? And I fucking milked it. I had to go around his house. His mum said, "Do you want a burger?" I thought we'd go to McDonald's, because in those days you only went to McDonald's when it was your birthday. And I thought, wicked, I'll take it full advantage and I'll stuff my face with French fries. And of course she made it at home in lard. And it was like this sort of, I didn't want, nowadays of course, when you've got a more refined adult palate, you want a nice homemade burger. But in those days, I just wanted, you wanted mass-produced, full of salt and shit. And she put this greasy lard-like burger and this really dry, powdered, dusty 2-ton of bread either side of it. I just remember sitting there thinking, this ain't worth any fucking dinosaur egg. And I remember he kept poking me. I think he had a little gay streak. He had this sort of little symbolic worm he kept sort of sticking in my ribs, going, "Are we friends? Are we friends?" I said, "Well, not really." I can assure you we won't be once I got my hand on the goods, once I got my hand on the dinosaur eggs. And I ended up staying around his house till about 11:30 because my mum didn't give a shit what time I came home. And his mum was like, "Come in my room. Are you still here, Christopher? Does your mother know you're here? It's almost midnight." And I was like, "You'll be all right, darling. I've got places to go, people to see." Being 14, of course. And anyway, it was like nearly midnight. I sat it out. And when you're a child, that's years. That's so long. No sign, not a mention of dinosaur eggs. So I knew if I suddenly went for the kill, if I suddenly went, "So, how about one of your dinosaur eggs?" I knew that he'd know, and I sort of think he knew anyway, and all, and it was like that sort of weird little thing. So in the end, I just stole two and ran away from his house. I literally did. He went to the toilet. I went to his little Puma Labia, put my hands in it, took out two and ran away. Next day, he came up to me and went, "What, you think you can steal dinosaur eggs from me?" And I was like, yeah. Didn't care, just did not care. Anyway, so I had them, and they were great, and I sampled them with some friends. What we done, we were a little bit more interested than just eating them. We took a hammer to them, and we sort of put a little pin on top of it, like a bolster, and it cracked open, and you could see the layers. Amazing. So that strange kind of sherbety, powdery, sort of almost chalky, sweet deliciousness in the middle. And it was like, wow, these are amazing, we've got to get some. And everyone who saw them, I kept half a dinosaur egg in my pocket, and everyone I met, who I was at school with, you're not really meeting them when you go into maths. "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." Yeah, sure. But everyone I bumped into, I didn't touch too many people when I was a child. And I'd go, "Look at that, that's a dinosaur egg." And I'd snap off a little bit and they'd put it into their mouth, and they'd feel a multitude of chemicals and flavourings and all, and the little tingle tangle. It was like Willy Wonka and I don't know, someone else dancing a dainty waltz upon the virgin tongue of children, and everyone wanted them, and I thought, this is it. So we go all the way back to the macro card. That's where he got them from, Macros, cash and carry. So I bought 100 of them. I actually got my mother to lend me the money to buy 100 dinosaur eggs, and I put my rucksack on my front with the zip open with my own little fanny, not a Puma fanny in truth, but my own little unbranded fanny, and I filled it up with dinosaur eggs, and I walked around sports day at school selling dinosaur eggs, not for 50p, of course, clever, see, What, you think you can sell them for cheaper than me? Sold them for 30p each, making a tidy 30%, can't remember how much really, percent profit on each one. Made myself a few quid, got myself a few dollars. Became a bit of a player, 13 years old, a fiver in my pocket. Hello darling, want to go down the arcade? Don't worry, I'll pay. You want to play pool? No worries, I'll go after with you. Sweet, I'm doing it, I'm making it, living it large. Started with the dinosaur eggs. Of course it eventually became crack cocaine, but it was an interesting journey between the dinosaur eggs and the hideousness of crack cocaine. Yeah, there you go. So what I'm saying to you is, I respect a person who takes a risk. See, as a communist, I can say that out here, Pol Pot, I do still love a capitalist arsehole, and I like someone to take a risk, because you risk losing everything, but if you start with nothing, you risk losing nothing. You need to have a thorough understanding of Heidegger and Kant and Hegel to understand what I mean about that nothingness and losing nothing, because you can't lose nothing, but you can gain something. Yeah? If you've only listened to one line I've said in this rambling diarrhea of bullshit, let it be that. Yeah? You can't lose nothing, but you can gain something. Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm going to risk showing you around the place now. If I bump into anyone, hideous this will be, because you'll see how I pretend to be someone else all the time. I'm not a social chameleon as much as a bullshitting idiot. So let's see how this goes. I might have to go back to something a little bit more formal for the GP. It's general public. I use abbreviations all the time because I'm VC. That's right, Viet Cong. Very cool, I meant to say, very cool. Just going to have a go of my EBV, yep, my extraordinarily brilliant vape. So, let's have an hello and look outside. Let's go. We're having fun. No one expected my holiday to be this exciting for you. There we go, look at this, look. Look, this is a kind of luxury. Can you hear it? Can you hear that, look? Wow. Be envious. No, be envious. Not joking. Can you imagine how much crack I've had to sell to make this happen? Look. Look. There's people over there, that's why. Look. Ooh, look at the pool, look. Look. Splash. Let's have a look over. Now, if I had the bottle, I would absolutely fall into the pool. Not going to do that. Look at that. That's tropical. That right there is a tropical pool. There's alligators in there. Sperm, massive sperm, giant sperm in there. And of course the ghost of Pol Pot. Okay. There's too many people out here. I'm getting the fucking... I haven't left my room in 4 days, to be honest with you. Right, listen, there you go. I got fucking swimming pools to sit in and prawns to eat and beaches to sit on. It's been really lovely talking to you. I'll see you later. Yeah. Much later.